Oh, what's good, y'all?
Hey, hello, welcome back to Dreamhouse TV. I'm your host, Dream. And you guys, I am on a Zoom meeting with someone that I know is going to inspire us, someone that I know that for sure is going to give us encouraging words. And we're going to hear about her amazing journey. Amazing journey, you guys. Like, I'm so excited. Like, trust me, I'm excited just like y'all. Okay, so hold on till you see, okay? And y'all know how I do. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. And, so go ahead and let the people know who you are.
Awesome. I'm Latifah Griffin-Rogers. I go she, her. I'm a lesbian, but I'm she, her. And I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania. So I'm from right outside of Philadelphia. I've been here most of my life. I work in Philadelphia. But, I am here to inspire. I'm a minister and I'm a therapist. Kind of young, but, I do the work. And I think that I can inspire and I can, offer a helping ear, lending ear to some folks.
Look, right. Because look, you guys, everyone needs that person that we know. Look, and then the fact that it's professional with it. Look, she can't tell nobody. Okay, can't tell nobody. So I mean, the fact when you need someone to just sit there and listen to some of your problems, or you may have some thoughts that might that you feel like that you can't overcome. You guys, someone is here with a listening ear. Okay, and not only that, but she also has some encouraging words for you in the process, So I mean, hey, you just have to be willing to take in and you know what I'm saying, like take heed to what it is that she is also saying, because she's not only coming to you as for a like a professional level, but also a spiritual level. So I mean, let's get into that. Let's talk about it. Like, how is that? Like, how is the balance for you? With the professional, but also the spiritual side.
Yeah, it's all one. So it really isn't a balance, right? In my therapeutic practice, right, my private practice with my clients, I let them know that I'm a minister as well. And if they want to talk about those things, I'm open to talk about it. That makes me different from a lot of therapists out here. A lot of therapists don't have this spiritual integration. Where I went to school, it was pastoral counseling as a program. So you got, all your psychology stuff, and you also got the spiritual piece, to be able to journey with people that have experienced religious trauma, that have experienced, being outcast, or, if they're check a box like you and I, right, in the LGBTQIA community. Oftentimes, if you're Baptist, if you're Catholic or something like that, you're not going to be able to be accepted. Pentecostal, you're not going to be accepted where you are. And so what do you do with that, right? You still have your spiritual side, your spiritual self. So a lot of times in my private practice, I help people through those things. But in the other life, right, in the church life, I'm a Unitarian Universalist. And what that means is Unitarian means there's one God. Universalist means all are accepted by that God. So it doesn't matter which denomination or which way in which you decide to go through God, right? If it's Christianity, it's Jesus, right? If it's Islam, it's the Prophet Muhammad. If it's Buddhism, it's Cigar, whatever his name was, right? I can't think of his name right now. But it's those folks, right? And so they are the conduits to the source, the main source. Right. But in my tradition, I just believe we go right to the source. We don't need all those conduits. We are the conduit. Right? We are all spiritual beings, whether we believe that or not. And I truly believe that. So I believe you, Raven, you, Tahara, your wife, we're all spiritual beings, and we all have something to bring to the spiritual community. So when I'm doing counseling, sometimes it does drift into a spiritual realm, even if the client doesn't want that, because maybe they have some sort of trauma or something, in their past that sort of leads into the future. Maybe they want to open up. And I'm here to tell them, like, if you were a Baptist, if you were a Catholic, Pentecostal, and they're telling you because of your lifestyle, you can't be who you are authentically, find somewhere else to be. I'm a Unitarian Universalist. I found my place. It means we believe that there's multiple sources to the source, multiple ways to the one God. Right. And, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. And so, I encourage people in that way. And sometimes it takes people to undo, right, the conditioning that they've been brought up in, especially in the South. Y'all are in the South. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in Philly, right?
Right.
So it's a little different up here in the South. Y'all, church is everything.
Yeah, I mean, and that's understood. Like even me, as for growing up, I was Pentecostal, but I mean, it was just like when I say full Pentecostal, the long skirts, can't cut my hair, but as soon as I was able to like free out, it's like a whole different part of the world. And knowing, you guys, have y'all seen, if you've seen my past videos, I always mention how I'm a preacher's kid, and my daddy, he's a, elder, that type of thing like that as well. So like me, like I understand that yeah, according to them, we may drift off.
Yeah.
But to us, that's pretty much just finding who we truly are. Not only that, but still having that relationship with God. Knowing that the church is not the only place where you can. No, the church is within us. Like not a lot of people realize that.
That's right. Right. The church is the people. It's not the building. Right. And so it's in you, right, to go out and be an extension of that. That building and what that building represents, right? So if you decide you never want to go back to that building, but yet you got 1,000 followers, you might be doing better than that church. Okay, so it's not the walls, it's not the four walls. Ministry expands beyond that, and that's part of the reason why I'm here. I was happy when you asked me to come, and I wholeheartedly believe that ministry is a worldwide type of thing, right? So if you have a platform, you need to use it. And so, listen, I'm honored to be here tonight, Raven. I'm honored.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You guys, look, that's that y'all know because she called me by my government name. You guys,
I'm sorry.
Let y'all know it's good. It is good because this is like we haven't just met. It's just like
we go way back. We go way back.
We haven't just met. Like we go back some years. And not only that, so just like seeing her journey and what I'm saying, like. Like the little hiccups or the big hiccups that came along the way. It just
life happens.
Yeah. And I mean, doing with going through all of that, and then still being able to find yourself, your true self. It's just like, okay, well, maybe this was meant to be. Like I know that this was meant to be. Not only that, because something hold us back, and we don't realize what actually is in front of us or what is coming towards us. And it's meant for us to take that journey. So sometimes sometimes some things do have to just let go. You have to give up.
That's real. Let me take you back about 10 years. So back in 2012, I finished counseling school. I finished my first master's degree in counseling. And when I finished in December of 2012, the nuns told me, they said, you need to go into seminary. You need to go into ministry school and do that. You have a call on your life. And I said, man, fuck y'all. I just paid $50,000. I'm not about to do this, right? I cursed the nurses, the nuns, right? I cursed them.
Right.
So I'm not about to do this. Y'all, I just spent $50,000 on this degree. I'm not about to go to another school, right? So that was December 2012. February 2013, Kim and I, my ex-wife, we lost everything in a fire. And at that point, I was like, shit, like those nuns might have been right. Like I didn't listen to them. And now we done lost everything in a fire, us and 35 other families, right? So maybe I need to figure this out. So I reached out to the seminary that I ended up going to, right? This is 2013. I don't end up going to seminary until 2017. And in between, what happens is I'm a city planner. I'm a director of city planning for a city. And what that means is I'm responsible for all of the commercial residential development in the city. And that was my passion. I love that shit, right? I felt like I was making the environment better for people. And so, I ended up becoming a director. I had a great career. 2017 comes, I switch. Donald Trump gets in office, 2016. I leave that job December. I go to another job. I go private, corporate. I go to a consultant firm and do environmental planning. So I go there and I'm there 6 months, all of 6 months, 2017. Donald Trump gets in office, decides he wants to play with the EPA and the FEMA, and they're the funders of the work that I'm doing. And he lays us off. I get laid off. Kim and I adopt this baby on May 17th, 2014. I mean 2017, May 14th. Yeah. May 19th, 2017. May 23rd, I get laid off 2017 from that consulting firm. May 24th, I hear from the seminary that I've been running from for 4 years now. Because in 2013, I reached out to right after the fire. I reached out to him, said, I think I'm interested in seminary. And they're sending me stuff over the years, right? They're sending me stuff like, hey, we think you should apply now. We think you should apply now. And I don't do it because I have this other career and I'm living life like it's golden, right? All things are well, we're traveling and all that. My wife, she cheats on me, whatever, and all this other stuff. So we end up separating. And we're separated at this point in 2017. So 2017, we adopt a baby, we're separated, still adopt the baby. Couple days later, I get laid off from the job. The next day, I hear from the seminary and they're offering me $50,000, a full scholarship to come to their seminary to study divinity. This is 2017. How can I turn that down? So here's what God did. God did everything, every distraction. I had no job. All I had was this baby, because my ex-wife wasn't there full time. You know what I mean? We adopted, we went through the process, but she had her own place, was doing her own thing, and I had our kid full time. I still have him full time. So she wasn't there. So all I had was him, and I had this apartment, and it's me and him, and I'm trying to figure out. Well, I just got laid off the day before. How the hell am I gonna pay these bills? And literally the next day, I hear from the seminary, and they're like, "We'll give you a full ride if you decide to come with us this fall." I said, hell yeah. I mean, I guess I got God done cleared the plate. He cleared the plate. Everything's going, everybody's going. I have nothing to do but to focus on that. And so I took that serious. And I did. And at the time I went into seminary, I was a Baptist. And by the second year, I was exploring. And into that second year, I became a Unitarian Universalist, again, which means one God. And there's multiple sources to the God. All there, everyone is accepted under that. If there's people in Africa that have never heard the word Jesus or God or anything like that, they're still saved under that. I believe that, right? And I believe that they're still going to find their salvation in heaven, right? So it was a lot. And so I did my study. I just got accepted into what we call preliminary fellowship in my denomination, which means I'm okay for ordination and I can go into a search and find a church. So I'm on that path right now. So in the next 6 months, I'll probably more than likely find a new church to serve and maybe I'll be their minister, maybe I'll be their assistant minister. I don't know. Depends on what I want to apply for. But it's open for me. It literally just happened on December the 2nd. So they were like, you got the green light for ordination. It's like, great, here I am.
Yeah, man. You look.
Yeah.
Look. Okay, so December. Okay, not and I'm good with. I'm real big about like the signs and like I'm saying like the numbers and I meditate.
Yeah.
I have my moments. But Jupiter, sets in December, so it's just like it's. I look when they be like, "Oh, you're lucky," and I'm like, "Yeah."
That planet of Jupiter got that money, baby. You already know what's up. Listen, I'm into the planets too. Like I said, I'm a Unitarian Universalist, so everything I take in, all things, right? Spirits, mediums, psychics, all of that stuff. They're all blessed. They all have a gift to offer us, right? And I wholeheartedly believe that. I got friends that are those things and that talk to me about the Mercury retrogrades and the other retrogrades and Jupiter being in my first house or second house, eighth house, whatever. And I'm all like, I don't know what it means, but that sounds great. Okay.
That part. But it's crazy though, because I mean, like when it have different effects and also bring, different trials and stuff like that in your life as well too. And a lot of people really don't pay attention to that because now you're wondering why, the person that you know for a certain amount of years, why they act funny always around this certain time. Well, there's reasons behind it. Maybe you need to do a little research and, like you said, the Mercury grade, all that stuff like that too. It all plays effect. So Yeah. So
No,
I
that's real.
mean,
That's real. It's all connected. You know,
mhm,
in our denomination, we talk about we're non-creedal, right? So there's nothing that's keeping us together except these 8 principles. And our 7th principle talks about the interconnectedness of all things, right? So what you're talking about is that, these retrogrades and these planets and things really impact us because they do, right? They're water based.
mhm,
So are we as human beings. We're water based, right? So we're going to be impacted by the full moon. We're going to be impacted by these retrogrades. We're going to be impacted by solar eclipses and things that are happening in our cosmic world, because guess what? We're part of that. We're spiritual beings, and we're also, and if they don't believe in the spiritual realm, basic, we have water in us. Those planets are water revolves around, it keeps them going. Water revolves around us, keeps us going. The same thing with the moon,
mhm.
the tides of the moon and the water. When it's chaotic, we're chaotic, right? We need to be extra aware of our moods and the things that we're experiencing. I wholeheartedly believe that. Like
Yeah,
we're interconnected
yeah.
with
And it took me,
everything.
yeah, and it kind of took me like some years to it, like, because not I just going deeper within, like a few years ago, you know what I'm saying? To it's like, you know what I'm saying, like the crystal's cool, like the sage and stuff, but a lot of people say it's a whole lot of evil behind the sage. But I'm also like this too. It all depends on who you're praying to. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're having evil thoughts, you just can't. This is all about like how you depends on to do it. Like the way that I do it, it is to be in touch with my ancestors. Like I pray to my guardian angel.
That's
Also,
real.
the God up above, because without our ancestors, we wouldn't be here. So it has to lead down
That's
to some
real.
kind
I pray to my great grandma all the time. I know
of.
she's guiding me on this path, right? I
Mhm.
know that for sure. Like, so you're right. Like that, there's a whole, but you see, you're from the South. So in the South, they have the spiritual connection, or at least they should, right? From the ancestors. Up
Yeah.
north, we're a little more in the, in the mind more. So they don't always connect to that spiritual realm in that way. But
Mhm.
I appreciate my Southern brothers and sisters because y'all do have that connection and realize, like, yo, no, we all connected. Like, ancestors are important. And if
Mhm.
you sit there and you sit quietly enough, and you just literally sit quietly enough, you will
Mhm.
hear your ancestors speaking to you. And it ain't a crazy voice. It's not,
Right.
listen, I got your back, or it's okay. Or maybe
Mhm.
you need to drop that sucker, and maybe you need to drop that chick. You need to do something a little
Right.
different.
Yeah. Those are the
You
signs.
ain't
And
crazy. That's right. You ain't crazy. It is the ancestors speaking to you.
right, and it's real, and it's crazy though, because I realize that's probably why some people are afraid to be alone.
Yeah,
Because when it gets to that moment to where it's just like, oh, like, you
yeah,
know, yeah, it is like it frightens them because they're not quite sure exactly what it is. That's why some people be like, oh, well, maybe you need to go to the mental psych, or but no, it's not even that. It just some of them actually are beyond their years. Then
that's right. Right.
you know,
That's right.
so
But more than that, like you said, like just that being afraid to be alone, right? If you're afraid to be alone, you're not going to be able to tap in. And those spirits can be overbearing, right? They're going to try, and if they got a message for you, they're going to keep trying to get that message to you until you hear it. So now you're going to think you're going crazy because
mhm,
you can't be alone in a room. You got to have all these distractions, TV on loud, radio blasting, all of that, and you can't tap into yourself. And yourself is your higher self, right? And
mhm,
that higher self is connected to our spiritual self, right? And that spiritual self is connected to the source, right? And our ancestors. So I wholeheartedly believe that. And I do believe that people that really struggle to be alone, they either got some PTSD, right? They got some trauma in their life that they can't
right.
overlook or oversee or get beyond, right? Because maybe they haven't had the right tools or whatever. But then there's a spiritual component, right? I do believe our ancestors and people that are around us really are trying to guide us into a different direction, a right direction. And sometimes we're not open for it. And that shit can become haunting if you're not open for it, because they can be persistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, real persistent. Okay,
Yeah.
wondering why you waking up every morning, 3 o'clock something in the morning. You're tossing and turning while your mind just won't shut off.
That's right. They want you to listen. They want you to be aware, right? They want you to be there. They want you to get it, right? They don't want you to screw this up, right? So they're there. They're interrupting everything. And we think we're haunted and all these things. And all we need to do is settle down and clue in, take time. Not every shut eye is a sleep eye, right? Sometimes we just need to rest and meditate and just be alone with our thoughts and alone with, with the moment. And when we're able to do that, we could tap in.
Yeah, most definitely, because then you'll realize, like, hey, sometimes it's just your mind, and not only that, but you actually being able to like kind of turn off your thoughts. It's just like, hey, just escape from everything else that's going around, and it's like it's not you being selfish, but it's you actually, tapping into you and what's going on with you, and like trying to make sure that, hey, what is it that you're missing, because there's certain questions that you need to ask, but you're just not asking. So it being that, having that moment to just sit there and it's just you and your thoughts. It's nothing else. You're in meditation mode. You're feeling good. It just, hey, sometimes when you just need to sit there and cry, it's because you are releasing what you actually need to release. Like I remember growing up, it was said that your tears are actually a liquid prayer.
Yeah.
When sometimes you can't say words, it has to come out some kind of way. So the fact when you were beginning to sit there and cry, that's your way of talking, and God is understanding and picking up on that. So trust me, even when you feel like you just sit there and you just cry, you can't say nothing. Words are being spoken without your mouth even moving.
That's real, and the reality is we don't do enough in our schooling system and in our environment about teaching about emotions, right? We should be teaching people to be vulnerable and teaching people to be okay with the tears that may fall when we feel certain things, and that's okay. Instead of being ashamed or beat down, why are you crying? And why are you crying? What's happening inside of you right now that's causing that emotion? Because your tears tell us a story. It doesn't matter if somebody died, doesn't matter if you're just hurt, about something. It tells us a story. So if we just sit with it for a moment, whether it's we're on outside looking in or if we're sitting with ourselves and the tears are falling, we just need to sit with it and try to figure out what's happening with me right now. What do I need to feel? And that's that piece of vulnerability that us Americans, right, not just African Americans, but Americans overall, because when I went to Palestine, they had a level of vulnerability that we just don't have. But there's a level of vulnerability that we don't have as Americans that we need to tap into. We think tears are just a sign of a bad thing, or it's weakness or something like that. No, it's a sign of vulnerability. It's a sign to the people around me that I need you. I need you to comfort me. I need you to carry this burden for me, right? We go to church on Sunday and we say, oh, let's lay our burdens down at the altar and lay our burdens down with these people here. That just doesn't happen on Sundays. Sometimes I need to lay my burdens down on this Thursday. And who gonna be there for me? Right? Those same people. Right. And so, or maybe it's the tears, or maybe it's the pages in my journal. Right. But something has to give, and we have to be understanding of that. And I think in this country overall, we're so fucking macho. We don't get it. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to cry. It's okay to not know what you feel and be confused by that. They're like 144 emotions. How are you ever going to know what you feel if they don't teach it to you in school? They don't teach us emotions in school.
Right. Like, some people, like, now it's just the fact that I don't even have to be sad. It could be something that I'm so excited about, and I don't even know how to really respond to it, and the tears, it just, it just begins to flow. So it just
happy tears. Yeah.
So I mean, not only that, but it's just like, hey, it's I don't know. Sometimes you just sit there and you be so frustrated, and the only way that you can release is just take a moment and just cry. You don't even know why you crying, but
it's okay. That's right. It's a form of emotion, and you got to let it out, because if you don't, it turns into anger. Now, instead of you sitting there crying, you beating up your spouse, breaking shit, throwing things, yelling at your kids, you doing all this other stuff because you haven't dealt with what's happening, right? And so if we deal with what's happening, you know, us guys, especially, we sit there and just cry sometimes. Like that shit is okay. It's okay to cry, right? It's okay. And we don't have to spend all day doing it. Spend our 10 minutes crying, get over ourselves, and go about our day. Like, and it's okay. And we could come back and revisit that shit. You know, we write our emotions down, we talk about it maybe in an audio, a voice recording or something on our cell phones or something like that. But there's different ways, especially if we don't have people in our lives. And that's the example I'm sharing is if we don't have people in our lives to listen to us, we have different ways to get it out. Because the important part is to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because once you hold it in for so long, you just never know how far that really could, can go. And look, you probably didn't even realize that you had that level to you until you really explode. So
that's real.
You know, it's better to
and
get
we
it
know
out
that
now.
as Black people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better to get it out now. So if it just, and I'm not going to say get it out now, like smash people windows and stuff, flat tires. No,
right.
no, talk to somebody, okay? Talk to somebody first. Talk to somebody first, okay? And if it feels like, look, somebody can help you. Look, if the first person can't help you, try the second person before you go to anything.
That's real. That's real. In my private practice, I've been getting a lot of African Americans lately. When I would work for companies, right, and do private practice or group practice, I would get a lot of white folks, and that was okay. And I did get work with them, but I always wonder, where's my people? Where's my people? So now that I'm on my own, I sort of the people are finding me, and it's a wonderful feeling because I'm finding that there are people like us that haven't had a safe space, because what I describe my counseling practice is a safe space for you to be able to come, cry, talk your shit, do whatever you need to do. I'm gonna patch you up and then you're gonna go out here and then I'll see you next week. Right. And they're so appreciative of that. Right. I feel like I have so many people that I want to turn off my referrals, but I don't want to turn them off. Right. Because I want to reach people. Mm-hmm. And I realize, you do have a gift, right? Counseling, being a therapist is a gift, especially in the Black community. We don't go to therapy often. And when we do, we think we're crazy or we have we need people to talk to. We don't have enough safe people to talk to in our community, right? Because the safe people there either telling us to shut up, don't tell anybody else about it, keep it to yourself. None of that shit's healthy, right? We need somebody we can talk to and download those things on. And I'm that person a lot of times, right? In my community, at least. But I still need a place where I need to download my shit. So this therapist has a therapist, right? Minister has a therapist who goes to them weekly to make sure that I'm okay, right? I'm not keeping their stuff on me and that I'm downloading and doing what I need to do to stay healthy. And I do feel like that's a good model for the people that I'm seeing. Because, right, if they see that their therapist has a therapist, then they'll be more likely to say, yo, sis, cuz, uncle, brother, whoever, get a therapist, man. Like, let's talk this shit out. You don't have to go through it alone.
Look, right. Because I mean, that was going to be one of my another one of my questions too. Like, how do you release? After a long day, because like you said, when you come in, when people come and they talk to you, you didn't know before, but now that you know, it's just like it's a burden that's on your shoulders. So it's like, how after a long day, how do you release? Like, relax.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? I split my day. So a lot of times I'm working super early in the morning and I take like the afternoon off because I spend some time with my son. And then I'm back at it 5 p.m., 6, 7, 8, whatever. And I'm at it at night. And then I'll watch a show or something that's goofy, just off the rails. And that's my way. I also keep a journal, also write. And then I'm a minister. So I also have some sort of spiritual practice, right? My spiritual practice includes walking, running, journaling, meditating, deep breathing when I have a chance. Like, I will just stop. All right, I don't give a fuck what's going on right now. give me 2 minutes and I'm going to go take some deep breathing, because maybe I'm stressed out in that moment. I'm feeling overwhelmed and I can't catch my thoughts or something like that. So I have to recenter myself. So I have a centering practice. I have a writing practice. And, I have an exercise practice. So you have some physical, you have some emotional, and you have some mental things that you're doing. And I think for me, I used to be a super physical person where everything I did was physical and there was no other thing. And then I got injured and I couldn't do the physical thing. So I had to learn that there's other ways to cope other than running it out, because I would get so overwhelmed that I just need to run a few miles. And I would do that. And then in 2017, I got injured and I couldn't do that. And I couldn't do that for like 2 years. And then in 2019, I think I started, no, pandemic happened and we were locked in the house. And so I started walking around the neighborhood, and that's how I started getting back. And in between sessions, if I had an hour or 40 minutes or whatever, I would go walk in the neighborhood because I would get so pent up with people's stuff. Because I understand, right? We're all in the pandemic. We're all going through the same shit. And you're coming to me telling me the same shit I'm dealing with. Right? So how do I release that? Right? I gotta go outside and I gotta walk it out. I had to do something physical, but then I had to learn, like, I'm not going to be able to do this, right? What if I become an old lady and I can't do anything? The injury just taught me not to rely on my physical so much. I was an athlete in college and all of that. That was all of my whole thing. I'll go run, I'll go lift, I'll go do whatever. And then you get injured and you can't do that. You know what I mean? So you have to learn, okay, I need to be okay in place. And in place looks like meditation. Maybe I need to put on my solfeggio frequency music, or my chill music or whatever. I need to just chill. I need to go be alone. I need to read a book, watch a show. I need some peace and quiet. We just got to figure out what works for us and do it, and then clue other people in on how to do it, how to accept that from us.
Yeah. Look, man. Okay, so I told y'all I've been knowing her for quite some time, right? So when she say fit, she meant fit. Okay, like that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. When she say fit, she meant fit. So when she say that was like her zone, she put some time and some sweat and some effort to it. So and then because I remember when you started working back out again. I remember you was posting. You was like trying to get back into it. I'm like, okay, so she might to make it pop. Out there doing your running. So, yeah, man. Like she'll put that time and effort to it. So I like it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna build up to it. Because I'm not old, but I'm not young either. So it's just like I still can catch it.
Yeah. Well, shit, I'm a little older than you, so you know what I mean. It's a little, your genes, right? My genes. I come from athletic family. I was athletic all my life, and athletic in college, and that you just learn. You mad about some shit, you go run, you go lift, you go burn it off. But when you can't do that, that shit, and as an adult with kids and responsibilities, that becomes a different thing, because you can become abusive, right? You can start yelling at people, and because you don't have that outlet anymore. So I really had to learn how to switch from a physical outlet to a non-physical outlet and be okay with that, right? And then I'll be okay with my body, right? Because I'm thinking in my head, like, I need to live up to this standard for, that I was in college. Fucking 37. It ain't happening no more, right? Maybe it is, but it ain't. I'm not putting in that work no more, So it's like that sometimes. It's just like man, like you think you feel like you 20 years younger, but you ain't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, speaking of, spinning, man. Look, I remember when the whole process, like from the beginning to now, he's always been a giant. He
really has. Yeah.
So I mean, like, let's talk about that. That experience from and you don't have to go really too deep into it, but the relationship that you have with him from the first time that y'all, that you got him to now? Like, how have that experience been for you?
Yeah, so we met him we met him November 1st, 2014. So he was born May 28th, 2014. So he was about 4 months or whatever when we met him. And he came home December 19th, 2014. So I had him since then, right? I say I because, my ex is no longer in the picture. Not sure what, whatever she's doing or whatever. And he's been a constant in my life for the past 8 years. So he's 8 now. He has cerebral palsy because he was abused by his birth mother. His birth mother was the cousin of my ex, and that's how we ended up, getting him.
Right.
And so, we had him. He had, he requires a lot, right? He has a G tube. He has wheelchairs. He has standards. He has all this equipment. He has a smart mouth that he's developed with time. So he's learned how to talk, and he gets smart. He tell you get off, get out. I don't want to. He tell you what he don't want, what he wants. So it's been great for me personally. I think I was 29 when we got this kid. I wasn't thinking of having kids, and we were thinking we were gonna foster some kids, and he came along and just sort of love at first sight. You know what I mean? Like, I met this kid and it was just like, oh man, I think this is my guy. Like, this is my soul baby. And to this day, a family member saying like, yo, if he wasn't so light, I would think you birthed him because he acts just like you. This boy is crazy. So that's my little soul baby. And in a lot of ways, he keeps me grounded, keeps me balanced because I put him first. I'm a therapist and a minister, but anything happen, everything's going on hold. Clients, I'm canceling you. Church, I'll see you later. Bye. I'm taking care of my kid. And a lot of people are shocked when they see him if they just get to know me or whatever, because he's white. He looks white. He's mixed, actually. He's not all white, but he's a lot lighter than I am. And so it's always a shock, but it never bothers me until somebody brings it to my attention. That's how close we are. Like, I don't see his color. I don't think he sees my color. I raised him as my son. He's, he calls me mom. And we just, I don't know, we just got a thing. We just groove. I take care of him. He understands, and he goes to school, and it works.
Right. Yeah. You have his moments. Look, like you said,
yeah. I gotta cuss him out, put him on time out.
He give you the problems like a son. So it's right. Like, look, you're not gonna miss a beat at all.
That's right. That's right. You gotta tell him sometime like, yo, chill. You can time out. See you later. You going upstairs to your room. And he'd be like, all right. He'd say, all right. I'm like, all right. Whatever.
Look, right. Don't we understand, okay? Don't we understand what's about to happen. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh man, but that's amazing though, because like I said, it just, I remember from the beginning to now I see to where you posted and he's talking smack, He
always talking trash. He's crazy, man. That's real.
Oh man, yeah, that is hilarious. That's hilarious. But I mean, like, I also seen like some of the places where you travel to. Like, so let's go ahead and look, dot them out on the map, because I don't know if it's all in one spot. Okay, it might be dotted out. All right, so y'all
it's a little everywhere. Right. So we took Spinny to Jamaica. So he's been in Jamaica. After that, I went to I didn't go to Antigua. I went to St. Lucia after that. And then I came back from St. Lucia and went to Israel, Palestine. And I was there for 2 weeks. And that was more of a business work type of deal, right? I went there to really understand religion, right? Because that's the home of religion, right? So I went to a place where Jesus had been, Prophet Muhammad had been, you know what I mean? Like all these, and they're in one place, you know what I mean? And so you'd be surprised. You go to the Middle East and a lot of the things, the stories overlap. They happen in the same place. And so that was a wonderful experience to have. And that really sort of helped me to understand, like, oh, I could be a Unitarian Universalist and not feel guilty about leaving the Baptist tradition, because I know that Jesus isn't the only way. He wasn't the only way, right? So just understanding that was amazing. And going to the Middle East to understand that, because of the Islamic population out there, was important. So yeah, I've been some places. I've been, all over the U.S. Driving or flying wherever. Been to Mexico, Dominicana, but for business purposes, yeah, I've been to Israel, Palestine, for religious purposes, obviously. Hoping to get to Budapest. I want to go meditate there, do some stuff there. So,
hey, look, it's on the way. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say I'll join you there, but it's on the way. Okay.
Hey, I might call you up. Yo, come on.
Look, now,
no,
I might be down for that. It just takes
that's right. That's right.
How you was talking about go catch him now? I can't go catch no gators. Okay, I can't do that.
Yeah, I wanted to come down there to get some gators from you.
It's good.
Like,
I like the one
now,
that's already in the store. I like the one that's already in the store, and cut up and look, it's doing what it gotta do. Okay.
You just gotta flour them up and fry them, right?
Cause me going out to get them, I don't know, friend. I
don't know. Yeah, it's funny. I was just watching Swamp People today. I was telling my sister, I said, man, I don't know if I can go out. I really want to do it, but I don't know if I could do it. I was just telling her that earlier today. It's so funny. That's real, man. That's real.
I don't know. That's
yeah.
That's not my calling in life. Okay, I want to stick to it. Stick to my
That's
calling.
Real. That's
real.
Going
out there and hunting gators and getting the water. Nah,
a little bit, maybe from the sideline. I don't know. But I got a buddy down there. I got a buddy minister down there. So she down in New Orleans. So she about to go to Cambodia though. So maybe when she come back from Cambodia and she go back to New Orleans, I'm gonna have to go down there and check her out. See if she got the inside.
Look, right. Did you come back with something that that we can use?
Right. Right.
So I mean, like, is that like some of your regular habits as for fishing? I saw you've been on the boat and you be out there doing what you got to do. So I mean, like, how was that? Like, how old were you when you first started off with the fishing? And
I was an adult. So when y'all saw me fishing, I started fishing then, right? It's something I had already wanted to do, but I was in my 30s, seriously, when I started fishing. And then the pandemic happened, and then, getting married again and, all this stuff, and my wife being sick. It's just been difficult to get out and do self-care in that way. So I got to find self-care in different places, because I like to go, I'm in PA, but I like to go to fish in Maryland because they got these group of black captains, right? So these black boats, you just pay, you go on the boat and you fish all day, you bring your stuff back and it's all good. You feel safe. You know what I mean? And you're not on the dock, you out in the water. And that's good, because I trust the black men. You know what I mean? Like, ain't every place you could go to and get on a charter boat. But down in this one area in Maryland, Graysonville, there's a group of black captains down there, and they'll take you out on a boat for about $60 for about 8 hours, and you can fish all day. And I love it. So if I want to take a day, and they're 7 days a week. So if I want to take a Tuesday off or a Saturday off, whatever, going down there. But I haven't done it in a while. Lately, I've been walking. Lately, I've been writing. I'm in the middle of holiday season in ministry, so it's a lot going on. Can't get out much, but and it's cold. It's cold up here, so yeah.
Yeah, I would say if y'all wanted to spare a little extra, but I think somebody already did, because we got like a little cool breeze coming through Houston. So look, I hit you up a little later to let you know if we need it or not, because ain't no telling how long it's gonna last. Okay.
That's real.
Right. So I just hold it for now. Just hold it for now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we in it. We ain't winter yet, but we in a thicker winter right now. Yeah, it really ain't winter yet, but it's been like 27, but 30. It's like, yo, y'all be falling up here today.
Now we supposed to be like that. I want to say next week ish.
Oh wow, it's another cold front. So that means if y'all cold, we gonna be even colder. Oh my
That's
god.
what. Hey, that's why I said let's hold it off a little bit. You know,
Right.
just hold on. Put it in the
Right, I
glove
didn't
or
even see that. I'm
something.
about to check it out, man. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, most deaf. But I mean, if there was, anyone that wanted to actually get into, ministry, and not only that, but being you say you're a psychologist, correct?
I'm a counselor. I don't have a PhD. I got I got two masters. I got masters in divinity and masters in counseling.
Oh well, and we all on the same level. Okay, it's the same level when it comes down. Look, to when you want to talk to someone and get that, get that advice, get that, just get that extra heaviness off your shoulders.
That's right.
Of course, at the end, always put everything in the description box below as a platform. Even if she give you a phone number, I'll put it down towards the bottom of the screen as well. With a listening ear, someone that you actually talk to. We're losing too many people. We're losing too many people due to depression, due to the fact that they can't, talk to someone. It's a whole lot that's going on. A whole lot. So I mean, as for right. So I mean, be sure to I want to plug Instagram, Facebook, phone number, all that as well. Like I said, I have a description box below. I also have the number going across the screen. So go ahead and plug it in and let them know how they can, contact you, get in touch with you.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would do that.
So I mean, as for your platforms, how can they follow you? Instagram, Facebook.
So because of as a therapist, I'm real keen on confidentiality. So I don't really advertise my counseling business on social media. Because you follow me, then people may know that we're connected, right? You may not people to know that you're seeing me for counseling. So I give people my direct number and I give them my email address. So you have that, so you could text me. You Google my name. You'll find my platform. You'll find how to make an appointments for counseling. If you Google me, you'll find orders of services, right? How to find me on Sunday mornings. You also find ways to make an appointment for counseling. I'm almost full, so if you reach a point where they're like, I can't make an appointment, send me a text. I'll open myself up, or I'll I work with folks. I have a sliding scale as well. So if you see the price and you're like, I don't know if I can afford that, it's $90 per session, cash credit, whatever. But if you got insurance, I take insurance. That works. If you don't have insurance and if you don't have the 90 per session, I can work with you. Just shoot me a text, an email, say like, yo, I can't afford the 90. I'll work with you. My thing is I want as many people that look like me, as many people look like Dreamhouse here, and to come to counseling, to understand, like, there are safe spaces for us to talk about these things that we encounter in our community. Even if our parents and grandparents say, you can't talk about this, you need to keep it in the house. It's not healthy to do that. So, I'm that safe space. I've been that safe space. Nobody has to know, right? Because I'm not putting no social media out there. You text me, it's confidential, and we make an appointment and then we go from there. And that's how I work with folks. And my thing is, I tell folks, if you're ready to get to the next level of life, come and see me, because in 3 to 6 months, you're gonna get to wherever it is you want to be. Unless you're like some astronomical goal, but shit, if you got the tools to get there, we're gonna get there. So it doesn't matter if it's astronomical or not. We're gonna get you to your goals. You want to be a better person. You want to, be more open, be more vulnerable, whatever. I can work with you.
Yep, it's all about compromising.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out how you want to help. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she figure out a way she can help you out with
That's
that.
right.
So it's all about that. And so if there is anyone that's that type of stuff community, and they are in the process of trying to figure out where they are now and becoming a minister like you are, because it's a battle between there, because with us growing up we thinking that us men in our community, they don't accept us in the Christ life, spiritual, that type of stuff.
No.
So if there's anyone in that battle between there and getting to there, like, what advice would you have for them?
I will help you, but it's all about finding your community. So, and it's all about your belief system too. So we could talk about what you believe. And because of my belief system and where I've come from Baptist world to Unitarian Universalism. So I've evolved in my belief system. I believe that initially Jesus was the only way to the source. Now I believe that there's multiple ways to the source. And I think that's freeing. And that could be freeing for a lot of people. And you don't have to necessarily believe, but I believe to find your freedom, right? I can help you do that from wherever you stand. But, we got to have that conversation and talk about it. And I get that, so if folks are out there, they're interested in being a minister and they check a box in the LGBTQIA community, talk to me. Because I want to tell you, you don't want to be in a place that don't accept you. Right? If you're Pentecostal, you're Baptist, you're Catholic, whatever, they don't accept you, get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Find your people. Find your people. There are people that will love you and accept you for you, not those people that claiming that you are. That they ain't gonna get into heaven doing that shit. That's not accepting.
Yeah, because they were like, only God can judge you, but when it come down to now, they start to judge. What I'm saying? It's different. It's different at deeper levels to it.
But the whole thing is, we hold our faith on, we're made and created in the image of God. So what does that say about you and I? We're not, because we like women. We definitely are made in the image of God, right? But what is that God to us, right? What is that God to them, right? To them, maybe that God is doom and gloom, but for us, maybe that God is liberating and freeing and all encompassing. So I think it's all about perception, right? And it's all about, what has God done for you, right? Because some people gonna come to us and say, yo, I'm a lesbian, I'm a gay guy, and I've had these horrible experiences in life, and they're gonna blame God. So what am I supposed to do with that? As a believer, I'm gonna sit with you and I'm gonna listen to you. And whether you decide to believe in God or not is beside the point. I want you to be happy. I want you to find your way. And so that's what I hold on to. Seriously, that's my thing. And like I tell people, I'm a minister, but it doesn't matter in this context when you're my client and I'm your therapist. What matters is I want you to get to the next level of life, wherever it is you want to be. And that's how we're going to get there. Now, in the spiritual world and church, it's a little much slower, right? People, they take their time a little bit more. They want to, things take a little bit more time to develop. So that's a little different for me, but I'm always a spiritual presence. And whether I'm a therapist or not, I'm always that spiritual presence that's non-judgmental, that's, going to be there for you, that's empathetic, that can understand what's happening in your own shoes. Like I feel that. And there's times I've cried for strangers, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel their pain. And that for some people that's unexplainable. And for me, that's just doing God's work. Right.
Yeah, and they just, like, some people don't realize, because once you actually have that connection with God, like, you're gonna feel those strangers, like what like the pain or the sadness that they feel, and like, you can't explain it just because like, even I have where I'm just like, I can't explain it, but I feel you. I feel your energy. Like I know where you're coming from, you know, and it's something that you know was 10 or 20 minutes before. It's just at that moment, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that moment, it happens.
That's real. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's real. That's real. Spirit moves, man. Spirit moves, definitely.
That you know, you just you think that maybe it's not supposed to happen to you. You can't, you know, on how you know, or how, you know, he speaks to you, or the emotion that he brings, because at that moment you need to feel that, so that way you can be able to save the next, you know.
That's right.
So
that's right.
So
yeah.
Okay, you guys, it's so deep a lyrics to it, so deep, but you know that's okay though, because this is our first time talking.
Yeah.
I plan on always, you know, and I look, it's been for years now. It's been for years now.
That's
so
right.
Back so that way, you know, we can get more and deeper into it, and go from here until, you know, next time, because you already done elevated, you know what I'm saying, in the years that I've known you already. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, anytime you need me, anytime you want me, I'm there, man. And eventually we're gonna meet in person and it's gonna be all good.
Oh yeah, most definitely, you guys. Oh yeah, we're gonna most definitely go live for that one, you guys. We're gonna be live on the air, because when we bring it, we're gonna bring it, and y'all just be prepared for it. Be prepared for it. But yes, I really appreciate you, you know, sitting down talking with me. Not only that, but you know, giving insight more onto our views. And somebody needed to hear this today, you know. It don't matter who you are, what color, you know what I'm saying, what it is that you represent, or how you live your life. Know that God is able, He is there, and He listening. Okay, it don't matter what religion you are, you know, however you proceed. Like I said earlier, the church is in within. The church is in within. You know, so hey, you guys, y'all continue to push forward, pray, stay still, and know that everything that's meant for you in life is coming. Everything that's meant in life, yes. But I really appreciate it, man. Look, this was dope.
Yeah.
This was dope.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the platform.
Awesome. Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I said, man, like everybody needed to know, you know, somebody needs a helping hand, somebody needs ears, you know, like just to hear what it is that they have going on. So you guys, make sure y'all please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Ding! So every time a new video is uploaded, you guys be the first one to get it. Yeah. And we appreciate it.
That's it.
We out, you guys.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Awesome.